Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over
well, I just, you know what,
he's
Kevin?
disgusting.
Come on, Kevin. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
And for the Cavs, they needed to have a big change in culture, and they seemingly did that with bringing LeBron back into the fold and hiring Black. You can expect them to be solely focused on winning games this season.
Here's LeBron. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Checking out the game LeBron is having. He has 9 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
Celtics making a switch here. Bradley's checked in.
Anderson Varejao, a quality defensive center. Great rebounder, moves his feet well, anticipates, plays with a ton of energy, and he's one of those irritants. He gets under a lot of guys' skin. Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
Celtics leading by 3. Inside. Here's Bass. Nice D from Varejao. For Cleveland, they've gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter.
And Varejao coming in to the league primarily as a defensive energy guy, but he's expanded his offensive skill set and has made great improvement as a passer. From his rookie season to now, he's more than doubled his rate of assists.
Second team foul.
Here's Bradley and to Sullinger. They kick it out to Green. Bradley, no one around him. Cans it from downtown. Bradley's got 5.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
And Varejao, a good decision maker, Steve, for a center. A 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio last year.
And he had a terrific season as a 2-point jump shooter. You know, able to spread the defense out a little bit and operate from the high post.
Rondo drives in. Passes shot. Good.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
The Cavaliers trail by 6. LeBron passes to Waiters. The 3-pointer, no good.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had early.
That drops.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
Well, Rajon Rondo still in a Celtics uniform, and that didn't seem like a foregone conclusion over the last season. Boston in the midst of a complete rebuild, and Rondo already in the prime of his career, so a lot of discussion about a possible trade.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Varejao. Marion comes in for Kevin Love. Miller's checked in for LeBron. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass. You know, you look at Rondo and you get the sense that perhaps he covets a chance to lead the Celtics as the team's undisputed franchise player. You know, that's a mantle he's not quite carried in his career. He said he'd love to have another 10 years in Boston. He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And for the Celtics, hard to give up an elite player like Rondo.
Well, Brad Stevens called in their clear-cut best player and the leader of this team. And, you know, Rondo has a chance to put himself in that echelon if he sticks around Boston in terms of being one of the all-time great Celtics.
Well, it's been said about Rajon Rondo that he's the smartest guy in the room and also might be the most stubborn. He's got a terrific IQ for the game, but he's opinionated. We've seen him butt heads with coaches in high school, college, and the pros, but that certainly doesn't take away from his greatness. He's a winner, a champion, and a terrific point guard.
Well, you're right. It has fueled his rise, whether it was at Kentucky, growing up in Louisville, or certainly playing with the Boston Celtics. Among some very important players, Hall of Famers like Allen and Garnett and Paul Pierce. He may have needed a little bit of that just to kind of clear the clutter and show that he could be a leader. The drive by Green. shot denied, but they'll get another chance. Clock at 6. And Sullinger kicks to Bradley. Over Miller. Bradley can't get it to go.
Oh, that's a frustrating one there. Easy look at the hoop.
They push it up 4 on 3, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
2 shots. And Sean Marion drops them both.
In the second quarter, they've had the right approach. Very aggressive, driving, drawing contact, and creating opportunities at the free throw line.
Well, you know, if other things aren't working for you, Steve, getting to the foul line can be a good place to start to turn it around.
And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line. That'll put Rajon Rondo on the line. They get Sean Marion. Boston shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
Waiters dishes to Thompson. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Outside Rondo. Up in time. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. Second quarter ends. It's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Well, how about Rajon Rondo in this one?
He has 11 points and several assists. His success in the assist department is carried over to the free throw line.
Yeah, Clark, he's had a very steady hand from that line, and it's been an impressive all-around night.
On the floor for Boston. Speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. Green is up there with Brandon Bass. And it's Sullinger in at the 5.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
And that should tilt things toward them. I mean, they've been winning that battle. The Cavs were an all-out mess last year, and a lot of that was because of their depth. They just did not have the punch off the bench to keep leads or bring them back into games.
All going up court, and Green slams it in.
Forget about finesse and agility. This big fella's all about power and force.
LeBron against Green. On the wing, Irving. 6 points for him.
And with the Cavs, their score differential for their reserves really tells the story. Just way too many points given away when that second unit came onto the floor. It's something they needed to address in the offseason, and they did.
Here's Rondo. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. The Cavaliers trail by 9. High, arcing shot, and Irving with the basket on the assist by James. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. And for the Cavs, depth certainly won't be an issue this time around. A lot of changes and growth for them, resulting in a much deeper and talented roster.
And you know, Kevin, people still underestimate the importance of having a strong bench. The Cavs really struggled with that last year, but with LeBron starting and pushing former starters to the bench, they'll be in a much stronger position.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, guys, the Cavs' David Blatt, the first ever NBA head coach directly hired from the international ranks. Though he grew up near Boston, a die-hard Celtics fan, he represents all the aspiring NBA coaches from abroad, saying, quote, "I feel a great sense of responsibility. I feel like I've got to do a good job." Kevin, he's certainly got the personnel to do it.
A roster loaded with talent, Doris. Indeed. Thank you. Rondo passes to Bass. Rondo kicks to Green. Pass to Bradley. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. On the mark with the 15-footer. The Cavaliers trail by 5. Timeout called the Cavaliers. There have been so many questions for the Boston Celtics the past 2 seasons. Who is going? Who's going to stay? Who should they build around? Tough to win with that.
Yeah, you've got those kind of questions rolling around. It's hard to find your direction and stay on course.
Mike Miller's checked in for waiters, and that one's good. And so it's Boston with it. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what David Blatt said to the team. He said their plan was run their offense through LeBron. Coach reminded his guys that he is the centerpiece of their offense, and he's the one they want with the most freedom to operate. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris.
The next step for the Celtics is going to be getting all this young talent to move together as a unit. Never an easy task for a coach.
Cavaliers making a switch here. Thompson's checked in.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
Love dishes to Thompson. Floats one, and that one's good. Thompson's got 8.
Well, hopefully for Boston, they'll be patient. But really, I think they have a lot to look forward to here in this city, as the Celtics could be a scary team in a relatively short amount of time.
Now a timeout called by Boston. And as with any timeout at this point of the game, important to go over the strategies that are working and those that are needed in terms of adjustments. And, of course, the opportunity, guys, to get hydrated with Gatorade before coming back out on the floor. We've seen some good action so far, and there's more of it to come.
Yeah, this game has been physical. It's been fast. It's been high-paced. So anytime you're in a situation like this where it's really a hard-fought game, critical to keep yourself hydrated throughout.
You know, one of the basic fundamentals in basketball is the ability to box out. He's got that down pat.
The shot by Turner, no good. The Cavaliers trailing. The drive by Love. Now here's Thornton. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Celtics?
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin, closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
And, Steve, we can't fail to mention all the steals they piled up, too. I mean, that's making a big difference. They've really gotten into them defensively.
Evan Turner to start last season, a feature offensive player, Steve, for the rebuilding 76ers.
Yeah, Andre Iguodala and Drew Holiday traded away in consecutive seasons. So Turner's numbers went up with the team struggling, but he didn't seem very happy about the roster changes because, boy, they were losing night in and night out. Well, I love the fact that he's fighting hard on the boards, but, you got to be smart, too. Over the back, that's an easy call there.
Well, that's simply the result of poor position under the glass. But at least you can't fault him for being passive. He was trying to be aggressive there.
Good on the second free throw.
Oh my God.
And Turner traded from the Sixers to the Pacers at the deadline. That was a change not only in role, but also in record. Going from one of the league's worst teams to one of its best. And from a starting role to one as a reserve. Not the easiest of adjustments, but I thought Turner handled himself well.
LeBron up top, Turner covering. Uses the glass to finish the layup. LeBron's got the game tied up here for the Cavs.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash-mouth basketball, guys.
Love it. Old school. Just physical play in the paint. Dominate. And for Turner now in a new situation, the former #2 overall pick, weathering criticism in Philadelphia, can he realize the potential that saw him so highly regarded coming into the league? We'll see.
With a floater, and Thompson sends it back. And he gets the bucket. And it's 6 points for Wallace. 27 seconds left here in the third quarter. It's LeBron with the drive. James left side. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Cavaliers will retain possession.
Nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
Sean Marion.
Outside Irving. 1 second left. And that's not going to go. And a moment here to look back at our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, no question, this was going to be the winner. Just take a look at the expertise he shows on this pass. Perfectly timed.